Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Aparajita is a name of Durga. Durga means confusion, obstacles, bother, all kinds of things that get in your way. It keeps holding you back or stopping your forward motion. And Durga takes away the Durga. And Aparajita, she was undefeatable, she is always victorious, she confers victory, and she is the form of Durga, she's the form of Lakshmi, she's the form of Chandi. And she belongs to a special class of knowledge, a branch that we call, from our tradition, we call Pach Vidya. And Pach means purity. Purifying, purification. The mantras that purify, the knowledge which purifies, which clarifies, which empowers, and mostly we use, I'm only familiar with a few of these kinds of vidyas. They are, I know Aparajita, I know the Param Devi Shuktam, I have also the Bhagalumukhi Stotram. These forms of knowledge are used specifically for overcoming major obstacles and confrontations that are holding us back in our lives. Many people prescribe these kinds of practices for legal cases or financial matters, or when you're in trouble, even for health matters. If you're going to a court case, if you're having problems clarifying your goals, overcoming the obstacles to prepare for your future, especially in regards to finances, you could use these Aparajita Vidya, this Pach Vidya, in conjunction with Mahalakshmi Ashtakam, to confer a similar result. Removing the obstacles, purifying and clarifying the individual. And a lot of it won't make intellectual sense, but it has a vibratory value, and it has a whole bunch of alliteration in Sanskrit. And it communicates a tone and a vibration. It fills us with the vibration that empowers us to become invincible in any confrontation. It's a short piece, it'll only take us a few minutes. I'm going to recite it now in the beginning. And then we'll go through the translation, just so you can get an idea how the bhavana, how the feeling, how the attitude, how the intensity of the reality, the poetry, comes together to empower you, and to empower all of us, to become invincible, especially in forwarding our pure agenda. So first we're going to recite it, and then we'll go back and read the translation, we'll take questions, and then we'll recite it again sitting in an asana. Because it makes a difference, you know. Aparajita Stotram Om Shuddhaspati Sankasham Chantakukti Susitalam Aboya Borata Hastam Shukabhakrishka Lankritam Nana Barana Sanyutam Chakravaka Ishcha Beshtitam Evam Dagit Samasino Yaitam Aparajitam Omasya Aparajita Mantrasya Narada Vidyasrishiranishtab Chandahasriya Aparajita Devata Lakshmi Bijam Bhuvaneshwari Shaktir Mama Sarva Bishta Siddhyarte Japi Vinyoga Markandeya Vacha Om Sri Nudvam Bundakasabe Sarvakamarta Siddhidam Asiddha Sadhaning Devim Boishtavim Aparajitam
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namospanantaka Sakastra Shirshaya Shirodarna Vastagine Shekshavoga Prachankaya Guru Dabakanaya Ajaka Ajitaka Amitaka Parajitaya Pita Vasase Vasudeva Sankarshana Pradumna Anirudakaya Griva Mahabhara Narasingam Baman Trivikrama Ram Rama Sri Rama Matya Kurma Borapada De Namaste Swaha Om Namaste Suradotya Danavanaga Gandhava Yaksharaksha Bhuta Preta Pisacha Kushmanda Siddha Yogini Dakini Skandan Purogan Rakagraha Naksatrang Doshan Chanyana Hana Dakada Pach Pach Mata Mata Bidwang Saka Bichur Naga Bidravaka Shankena Chakrena Bodrina Kargena Shulena Godoya Mushalena Kalena Damodara Pasmikarukaru Swaha Sahasrabaho Sahasraparana Yuddha Joyka Ajita Amita Aparajita Apratita Sahasnetro Jvala Prajala Virupa Bishmarupa Bakarupa Mahasudana Mahabharaka Achyuta Nrisinga Purusha Purushottama Boykuntana Ragina Padmada Govinda Aniruddha Damodara Rishikesha Keshava Bhaman Sarva Surot Sadhana Sarva Bhuta Boykankara Sarva Shakra Pamardana Sarva Mantra Papanjana Sarva Roga Pranashana Sarva Naga Pramardana Sarva Devan Maheshwara Sarva Banda Vimokshana Sarva Gita Sampamardana Sarva Kisra Pradamana Sarva Charapanasana Sarva Grakani Paradana Sarva Papa Pramardana Dakini Vidvamsana Sarva Duswapnana Sakajanardana Namaste Swaha Yai Mama Parajitam Paramam Vaishtabim Patati Vidyam Smarati Siddham Mahavidyam Japati Patati Srinoti Smaragati Daragati Kirtayati Pachagati Vagrihitva Haste Pati Gachati Babhaktya Likitva Grihestapagati Vatashalnati Vayu Vadro Palasani Bayam Navashibayam Nashurbayam Nachurbayam Sarpabayam Nasapada Bayam Nasamudra Bayam Naraja Bayam Baba Bed Natasya Ratra Andakara Stri Rajakula Bishopa Bishava Gurala Hana Bashikara Nadvi Deshotana Bandana Bayam Baba Bed Edaki Mantra Kirudharite Siddhaki Samsiddha Pujite Tadyata Om Namaste Aboy Anangi Ajite Ambite Apare Aparajite Patati Siddhe Vidye Smarati Siddhe Mahavidye Ekananshe Umedruve Arundati Savitri Gayatri Jatabedasi Manastoki Saraswati Damani Ramani Dharani Sodamini Oditi Diti Vinate Gori Gandhari Shabari Kiratini Matangi Krishna Shode Satyabadini Brahmabadini Kali Kapalini Karalini Karalana Netre Bhimanadini Vikarana Netre Sadyopachaya Kori Mataha Sarvaya Chana Borate Shubade Artade Siddhini Sadini Apamrityu Nasaka Papam Hara Jalakatang Stalakatang Antarikshakatang Bang Raksha Sarabhuta Sarbo Padri Vebhyaha Swaha Yasya Pranashate Pushpangar Boba Patate Jati Riyante Balika Yasya Kakabandhyatu Yapape Bujapatre Twimbang Vidyam Likitwa Darat Sadam Bekir Doshin at Dipita Shubaka Putrini Pape Bujapatre Kumkumena Likitwa Darat Yap Rane Raja Kule Dute Sangram me ripu sankale Agni chora boye gore Nityam tasya joya babe Sastatra barakat yesha Samaye kanda darini Gumashukla shulakshi roganam Shiprang nashagate vyatam Shiro roga jiranancha Nasining sarvadehinam Tadyata Ekakika Dvakika, Trakika, Chaturtika, Masika, Dvaimasika, Troimasika, Chadurmasika, Shanmasika, Mohurtika, Bhatika, Poitika, Shnoitika, Sanipatika, Jora, Satada Jora, Santada Jora, Bhishma Jora, Grahana, Dakshatran, Dushan, Chanyan, Hara Hara Kali, Sara Sara Gori, Damadava Vidye, Ali, Bali, Tali, Pande, Pacha Pacha Vidye, Mata Mata Vidye, Nasaka, Nasaya, Papa. Hara Hara Du Swapnam Vidvansaka Vigna Vinasini Rajani Sande Dudu Vinade Manastoke Manasabeke Shantini Chakrini Badrini Godidi Sulini Apamritu Vinasini Vishweshwari Dravani Keshavadagite Pashupati Sahite Dukastake Dumdubi Nadini Bima Mardini Damani Sabari Kirati Matangi Maheshwari, Indrani, Brahmani, Baraki, Mahendri, Komari, Chandi, Chamunde, Namostate. Rang, ring, rung, roing, rung, ra, turu, turu, swaha. Imang Vishanti, Pratyaksham, Paroksham, Bhaktan, Sarvan, Hana, Daha, Pach, Pacha, Mardaka, Tapaka, Tapaka, Choshaka, Utsadaya, Brahmani, Vaishnavi, Maheshwari, Varaki, Komari, Vanayaki, Indri, Agni, Chandi, Chamunde, Varuni, Bhagavi, Sarvakama, Palapade, Raksha, Prachanda, Vidye, Indra, Pendra, Bhagini, Joyke, Vijake, Shanti, Pushti, Tushti, Kirti, Vipardini, Kamankuse, Kamaduke, Sarvakama, Varapade, Sarvabhuteshu, Mampiyam, Kuru, Swaha, Ring, Rang, Ra. Om Akashini, Abesini, Dwalamali, Ramani, Damani, Tapani, Madano Madini, Sanshosini, Mahakali, Nilapatike, Maharatri, Mahagori, Mahamaye, Mahashraye, Mahachendri, Mahashuri, Mayuri, Aditya Rashmi, Janavi, Yamagante, Om Ankili, Chintamani, Surabi, Saropande, Sarvakama Duge, Yatabilashi, Tankarjanta, Mesid Yatu Swaha, Om Abdite Swaha, Om Aparajite Swaha, Om Bu Swaha, Om Buva Swaha, Om Swaha, Om Burbuva Swaha, Shata Eva Gatam Papam Tatriva Pratigachatu Swaha, Om Bale Mahabale Asiddha Sadini Swaha, Om Niti Sri Vishnu Damotare Tri Kande Trilokya Bijoya Nama Aparajita Stotram Samaktam Om Ring Sring Dum Durgayati Namo, the song of she who cannot be defeated. She is invincible. She accomplishes her objective wherever she goes. She is pure, she is clear, she understands, she has defined her goal, she's defined her path, she's budgeted her resources, she's budgeted her time, she's budgeted her energy. She is successful with whatever she does. Appearing with the brilliance of pure crystal, emanating the cooling rays of 10 million moons. With her hands she is granting boons and freedom from fear, wearing a light-colored apparel, a yellow sari with a red border, and ornaments of Rudraksha beads on her wrists and arms. With various accoutrements displaying the discus of revolving time and others, we meditate upon she who cannot be defeated. That's my girl. Om. And now, The mantras of she who cannot be defeated. Narad, Vidyasa are the rishis. Anushtup is the meter, 32 syllables to the verse.
And Anushtup, remember Gayatri is the chando of the morning, of the beginning. And Ushnik is the chando of the midday, of the middle. And Anushtup is the chando of the evening, which is, she's the closer. She closes the deal. Aparajita, she can't be defeated. She closes the deal. She's the one who completes it. Anushtup, the 32 syllables to the verse doesn't mean it's written in 32 syllables, although some of the verses are. Most of it's written in pat, which is blank verse.
The respected she who cannot be defeated is the goddess.
Lakshmi is the seed.
The supreme goddess of the earth is the energy. For the perfection and fulfillment of all that is desirable is the application for which this recitation is being made.
Whatever desires of purity and clarity you hold in your mind, whatever obstacles preclude us from accomplishing those objectives, Aparajita empowers us to be undefeatable.
And Markandeya said,
"Listen, oh, all you great wise ones. Can you hear me in the east? Can you hear me in the north? Listen, oh, you great wise beings.
To that which grants the perfect fulfillment of the objects of all desires, the praise of the goddess of pure discipline, the energy of she who pervades the universe,
She who cannot be defeated.
Om, we bow to the supreme manifestation of divinity, Lord of the earth. We bow to the infinite one who has 1,000 heads, who rests at the end of the infinite ocean of pure consciousness. Sahasrashirshu Purushaka, Sahasraksha, Sahasrapa. She has thousands of heads and thousands of arms and thousands of eyes. Who enjoys the bed of the ultimate. Remember Vishnu reclining on the couch of Ananta, of infinite. Of the ultimate, whose conveyance is the eagle, Garuda Vahanaya, who is the king of birds, who is unborn, undefeatable, without limitation, who cannot be defeated, dressed in yellow, with a red border, Lord of the earth, who is alert and apprehensive, who is the preeminent mighty one, unobstructed, who has a horse's head, Hayagriva, the giver of the great boar of sacrifice, the man-lion of courage, who became a dwarf, who does all the action of the three worlds, who is Ram.
All the incarnations, Dasavatara, Vishnu, he came, they are all empowered by her, the lady in yellow,
who came as a fish and a tortoise who grants boons. We bow to you.
I am one with God.
Om, we bow to you who manifest the great strength of the gods, those of duality, negative ties or bonds, snakes and other lowly beings, Gandharvas, celestial musicians, lords of wealth, selfish beings with pride, Brahma Rakshasa, ghosts and goblins, disembodied spirits, those who with false conceptions, attained ones, goddesses of union, demonical energies, Kartikeya, the commander of the armies of the gods, the leader among the planets, the faults of the planets and asterisms, various other faults, destroy, burn, bring to perfection, churn, destroy, grind to powder, disperse, with your conch, your discus, your thunderbolt, your sword, your spear, your club, your pestle, your plow. O giver of compassion, turn it to ashes, do it! Please do it! I am one with God.
Every negative quality of the universe, purify, clarify, take your pestle and turn it into a powder and pulverize it.
Om, with 1,000 arms, 1,000 weapons of war, be victorious, conquer, O unconquerable one, unlimited one who cannot be defeated, with no one before you,
No one greater than you. No one prior to you. No one before you, with 1,000 shining eyes, shining brilliantly, brilliantly without form. The form of the universe, of many forms, who exudes sweetness. The great boar of sacrifice, infinite one, the man-lion of courage, the great full and complete consciousness who dwells in the highest heaven, manifestation of consciousness from whose navel comes a lotus, who is one-pointed light, unobstructed, giver of compassion, control of the senses, who embodies creation, preservation, and transformation. A dwarf, the discipline of all the gods, who instills fear in all ghosts and disembodied spirits, who defeats all enemies, who pronounces all mantras, who cures all disease, who destroys all snakes, who is the great supreme Lord of all gods, who liberates from all bonds, who destroys all adversity, who controls all enmity, who destroys the incapacities of old age, who keeps the planets in proper orbit, who destroys all sin, who destroys inimical energies, who destroys bad dreams, who is above manifested existence. We bow to you. I am one with God. Obviously, you have your work cut out for you. This is the song of she who cannot be defeated. The Supreme who pervades the universe, who reads, recites, remembers this knowledge, becomes an attained one of great knowledge, who continually recites, reads, hears, remembers, supports, inspires others to hear, explains, or even keeps this writing in his or her house, in his or her hands, while moving on the path, and with devotion establishes this writing in his or her house. To him or her there will be no fear from fire, wind, or lightning. He or she will be protected from shunning the malevolent planetary influences and will not experience any fear, not from rain, enemies, thieves, snakes, the ocean, the king, nor from anyone or anything else. You become fearless. The undefeatable one, the she who is always victorious, is with you all the time. No fear will come to him or her from the darkness of night, from attachment to the opposite sex, from the king or his family, and those individuals will be set free from death by poison, control by others, division, servitude, death, bondage, and others, etc., etc., etc. With these mantras, he or she, and it's absolutely neuter gender. They are totally oblivious to gender in these mantras. And that's why we came up with he or she, because we don't have a neuter pronoun. I don't want to call you it. With these mantras, he or she will become uplifted, delighted, become an attained one, and worthy of worship. Tadyata. Thusly. And this is the procedure. Om, we bow to you who grants freedom from fear, who is undefeatable, unlimited, with no one above, who cannot be defeated, who is the attainment of perfection in recitation, who is knowledge, who is remembered, who is the attainment of all perfection, who is the great knowledge, who is the one, who is the circumstance, who is consistent, who comes as Arundhati, Savitri, Gayatri, the great Satis, the great women who exemplified purity and devotion, and such devotion, they became Satis. They became so devoted to their husbands that they became known as the embodiment of truthful behavior. The knower of all thoughts, as Saraswati, who blows all like the wind, who causes all to blow, who enjoys with delight, who causes all to rejoice with delight, who holds aloft and supports all, who causes all to hold aloft and support all, who illuminates like lightning, who is beyond duality, who is duality, who is humble, who is rays of light, who supports the essence, who is simplicity, fame, the embodiment of thought, who is dark,
like Kali, who is welfare, who speaks truth, who speaks for the supreme divinity, who takes away darkness, who wears a garland of skulls, who is formidable, who has formidable eyes, who makes a terrible sound, that means loud, whose eyes instill fear, who offers truth, the mother who gives the blessings of all behavior, who grants purity, who grants meaning, who supports truth beyond death. Destroy, destroy all sin, confusion, take away that committed in waters, that committed on land, that committed in the atmosphere. Protect me, protect all the elements from all opposition. I am one with God. We children, descended from the womb of existence, desiring the death of all bondage, bow to all of these with flowers. We bow to all your pure forms, all the manifestations that we've enumerated. We offer flowers to you all. We bow to you offering flowers, the sweetness, the fragrance, the beauty from the garden of delight in our hearts. This knowledge should be written on a birch tree bark and always worn in an amulet, by means of which all faults will be purified for yourselves and your children. So we can write it in a kavach, in an amulet. We make pran pratishtha the amulet, we offer it on the yantra, we make pran pratishtha the yantra, and we can turn around and wear it ourselves or offer it to others, if you can make this writing small enough to fit in an amulet. If this is written, by means of which all faults will be purified for yourselves and your children, you won't do any stupid things. If this is written with red vermilion powder on birch bark and worn, it will bring all delight and freedom from fear of the family of the king and battle and confrontation from the multitude of personal limitations, desire, greed, illusion, ignorance, and jealousy. Kam, krodh, lobh, moh, madh, matsarya. There will be no fear from fire, thieves, or other violence, and he or she will be eternally victorious. It restrains opposing weapons and restricts divisions of time. It will destroy the pain caused by opposing armies bearing dangerous weapons and destroys the pain of disease and old age in the entire body. Sing it. It's a good thing to do. Highly recommended. In this way. 1 recitation. 2 recitations, 3 recitations, 4 recitations, 1 month of recitations, 2 months of recitation, 3 months of recitations, 4 months of recitations, 6 months of recitations, even lasting for a moment, with a breath of the wind coming from the bile, coming from the phlegm, not knowing the meaning, constantly reciting with joy, reciting irregularly, for the faults of the planets, the asterisms, and others, take away Kali, in constant motion, Gauri, blowing knowledge, Saraswati, in thorns, in objects of value, in clods of dirt, all bonds with purifying knowledge. Look, your thorns and objects of value, clods of dirt, they're all the same to me. Mati chaka chaka mati. It doesn't make any difference. They're all the same if she who is undefeatable is with you all the time. What do you care about the difference between thorns and mud and coins? With purifying knowledge, churning knowledge, destroy all sin, take away bad dreams, destroy, oh destroyer of all obstacles, the night, the union with the sounds of the kettle drums, the manifestation of all thoughts, the agitation of all thoughts, you hold the conch, the discus, the thunderbolt, the club, the spear, destroyer of untimely manifestation of creation, preservation, and destruction, who is with the Lord of animals, Pashupati, who removes all pain, who is the sound of the drum, Dumdubinade, slayer of the terrible, as self-control, who causes others to have self-control, whose patience breeds humility, fame, the manifestation of mind, the supreme goddess of consciousness, the female ruler of the pure, the energy of the creative consciousness, the boar of sacrifice, the great goddess of consciousness, the goddess of purity, she who tears apart thoughts, the slayer of passion and anger, we bow down to you. Om, the infinite beyond conception, the manifestation of the subtle body of consciousness, in the gross body, the causal body, the circumstance of all beings, in the body of all that is knowledge, in the body of light, in the body of truth, consciousness, and bliss, strongly, powerfully proceed. I am one with God. All of these enemies are constantly attacking me. Hey, Mom, please, you gotta help out. I can't do this myself. I gotta have the goddess who is undefeatable with me. All of these enemies are constantly attacking me, and I request that you slay them, burn them, purify them, kill them, apply the heat of your purity, purify them, make them true, the energy of the creative capacity, she who resides in all, the great supreme seer of all, the boar of sacrifice, the ever pure one, the great remover of obstacles, the supreme ruler of purity, the light of purification, she who tears apart thoughts, the slayer of passion and meanness. Hey, goddesses in every form, please come and protect me. All these negative energies are constantly attacking me. They say I can't do it, I can't make a plan, I can't achieve the plan, I don't know where I'm going, I can't get there. If I knew where I was going, please make them shut up. The supreme ruler of the pure, and she who is almost or approximate the supreme rule of the pure, the goddess of fortune, be victorious, conquer, bring peace, increase, satisfaction, fame, progress, the satisfaction of all desires, grant the boon of all desires which are beloved by me within all existence. Do! I am one with God. Mom, you are the satisfaction of all desires. If one has you, what else could they want? Om, rang, ring, rong, ra. Om, the infinite beyond conception, Maya, manifested divinity, the ultimate divinity. Om, she who attracts all, she who is totally independent, she who cultivates illumination, she who is delightful, she who causes delight, who blows, who causes to blow, who is purifying austerities, who causes purifying austerities, who is intoxicating delight, she who causes intoxicating delight, who is the balance of all, the great remover of darkness, who has a blue flag, the great night, the great goddess of light, the great measurement of consciousness, the great refuge, the great cause of devotion, the great purity, the great peacock, she who illuminates non-duality, who is the restrained sound of the Ganges. The pure Ganga flowing through life is the Ira. And she comes into the Ira, she goes out of the Jamuna, which is the Pingala, she resides in the Sushumna. Om, consciousness, the pin, the gem of all thought, of great strength, who gives birth to great strength, who yields all desires and all desirable effects, bring to me the fruition. I am one with God. Om, to she who is non-duality, I am one with God. Om, to she who cannot be defeated, I am one with God. Om, to all that can be perceived through the senses, I am one with God. Om, to all that can be conceived in the mind, I am one with God. Om, to all that can be known through intuition or meditation, I am one with God. Om, the gross body, the subtle body, and the causal body, I am one with God. The 6 limitations which give rise to sin we offer to you, I am one with God. The Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Moda, Matsarya, the 6 ripus, the 6 limitations that obstruct and make me dwell in the ego. Who is the thinker? I am. Oh, one of strength, one of great strength, the successful attainment of spiritual discipline. I am one with God. Oh, thus ends the Aparajita Stotram, which can conquer the 3 worlds, which comes from a 3rd part of the scripture known as the highest ideals of Vishnu. Om.
Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.
Wow.
If you can feel the bhavana, you can feel the vibration, you can feel how the mantras combine with the alliteration, and they give a power, not just an intellectual meaning, but it means a lot. But not just in a coherent grammatical cohesion, it's more than that. The sum is mightier than the total than all the individual parts. It's so dynamic. It is so empowering. It makes one to become one with she who is undefeatable, the form of Mahalakshmi, who makes you successful in every endeavor you undertake. And it is with this understanding that Sri Maa wanted to share Aparajita Stotram with all of our family. So you all become empowered to achieve your goals. Let's see if there are any questions.
We have a question from Elise.
Namaste, Elise.
In doing this mantra to make a goal, for example, a spiritual path priorities or even a worldly goal, how do we approach this verse? What is the best way to work with these verses?
Well, the best way is to sit down in one asana and chant them cover to cover, start to finish. That's the best way. If you conceive your goals, if you define your goals, if you define the obstacles to those goals, sit down at your altar, light a candle, put a flower, light some incense, purify, do Achman, Ashan, Shuddhi, and sit down and recite these mantras as an appendage to your pujas and your other pat, your other recitations. You will become empowered with the energy of the undefeatable one.
We have a question from Usha.
Namaste, Ushama.
Namaste, Swamiji. I looked up Aparajita Stotram on the net, and what I came up with was the God's praise part of the 5th chapter of the Chandi. Does this mean that this would have the same characteristics that you described for this stotram?
We are bowing to many of the same goddesses. We are bowing to many of the same forms, but this is a totally different branch of literature. It comes from a different part of the Tantra, rather than from the Puranic literature of Markandeya Purana, where the gods are Namastasya, 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 Namo Namaha. That is one, it's often referred to as Aparajita Stotram, but it's not the same as the tantric version of the Aparajita Stotram. It does have many of the same characteristics. We are bowing to many of the same goddesses, but we have a specific prayer here, a specific intention here, a specific motivation here, where we're asking them to take all of the obstacles and all of the enmity and all of that which is confronting us and precluding us from accomplishing our objectives. And we're saying, make it into powder, make it into dust, grind it to a salt and throw it in the air, blow it, burn it, destroy it, make me one with God. It's a little different from, I bow to you, continually. We bow. Those are the differences. Yes, please.
We have a question from Ramya in Bangalore.
Namaste, Rami, Mommy.
Can we chant Aparajita Stotram to defeat obstacles within us, like the great ego, that keep us from life goals?
Absolutely, that's the greatest of the obstacle. Now, many people prescribe as a remedy when you're confronting physical obstacles like a court case or an impending legal procedure or a serious illness, or they use it, all this pacha vidya, and these various forms are very rarely given to congregations. Mostly it's kept as inside knowledge amongst the priesthood, but since all of the members of the Devi Mandir family are priests and priestesses, I have no hesitation, especially with Sri Maa's blessing, to give you this knowledge and empowerment. And the greatest of all the enemies is me. I Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. And what a problem I become. I am the problem. And if I want to defeat the problem, I want to churn, I want to defeat, I want to become undefeatable, empowered to defeat that great ego who controls the man and the buddhi. He is the ahamkar. He is the chitta. I want to purify my chitta, so I have chitta vritti nirod. I've got yoga. Thank you, Rami. Absolutely, that's the best enemy to use these mantras to defeat. Yes, please.
It seems like part of the scripture is talking about Vishnu.
It is.
Why?
It's talking about Vishnu because it's a praise of Lakshmi in the form of Durga, in the form of Aparajita. So they're always coming back to the description of Vishnu and the Dasa avatars and the female empowerment of the female versions of the Dasa avatar. And so they come back to Vishnu as the consciousness which pervades all, and to Lakshmi, who is the goal of all. And to accomplish all the goals, we need to defeat all the obstacles and all the physical obstacles and the metaphysical obstacles, which means my mind and all the things within it. Got to defeat those too. We want to defeat the thinker who thinks all those thoughts. Yes, please.
Many of the scriptures that we've read, there's a clause in there that says, don't share this with anyone and don't let it get into the wrong hands. Many of the scriptures, but this one's so powerful, but there's none of that in here.
No.
Clause. Why is that? That we didn't put that in there?
Why doesn't it have
It's
something?
one of those really
I can't
powerful-
tell you why it doesn't have it. I can tell you what it means, how to use it. I don't know what was in the mind of the authors many millennium ago, or why they didn't put that in. Yes, please.
We have a question from Sadhana Shakti.
Namaste, Sadhana.
Namaste. The Aparajita Stotram seems to have a more direct power than some of the other stotrams. Why is this?
The reason is it's tantric, it's written in pat, which is blank verse and free verse. It doesn't necessarily correspond to a meter, to one rhythm. It is not polite like Chandi in the 5th chapter, where that's a form of Aparajita, but namaste, namaste, I'm bowing to you, I'm bowing. This says, destroy it, burn it, grind it to powder, bichurnaya, but you throw it away, blow it away, kill it, get it out of my life. I don't want those negativities anymore. It's really powerful. It doesn't just say, please remove things, negativities, send them to heaven. It says, get them out of my life. You do whatever you want with them, get them away from me. And that's why it's got a different power, and a different energy, and a different empowerment which it creates for the disciples. Yes, please.
Swamiji, if we want to add this into the cosmic puja, is there a specific place you would recommend chanting it?
Well, you could add it to the end of your Lakshmi recitation. So when you do the Lakshmi Puja, you do the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam, before you do the Pranam to Lakshmi, then you could add this in. You could also complete the entire recitation, and then there's a whole number of different vidyas, and a whole number of different branches of knowledge which we haven't been sharing, which I just started to translate, because we have a conducive environment where I'm a little bit free, so I get to spend my mind in. And there are different branches of knowledge with different kinds of empowerment which will enable us or assist us in coming closer and closer to completing our goals, to finding that which is my natural gift, the contribution that I want to make to life. What do I want to give to life? That's the question that perplexes every one of us all the time. What is my highest dharma in this circumstance? All of us are standing on the field of Kurukshetra, on the battlefield of karma, on the battlefield of dharma, Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra. I've got to act, and I've got to make a decision. What is my dharma? What is my highest ideal of perfection? What will empower me to give the most in this circumstance? What is the highest and the best use of this tool in the hands of the Divine Mother? Every one of us is confronted by those issues. We just studied a few weeks ago the Bhagavad Gita, and he said, the beginning, Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra, Samaveta, Yuttava. What happened there? In the field of Dharma, trying to manifest the highest ideal of perfection in every activity that we perform. Kurukshetra, in the field of all activity, everything you you do the most, or do you leave it halfway done? Are you efficient, or are you expeditious? Are you selfish, thinking about yourself and thinking about your time, thinking about when I get off of work and or are you thinking about how can I give the best I can possibly give under these circumstances, because this is the depiction of my love for you. This is the demonstration of how much I love you. I'm going to dot every I and cross every T and make sure I read it again so that it's right. This is the question, the issue that perplexes all of us in every circumstance. And these types of knowledge, like Aparajita, the goddess, the praise of the goddess who is undefeatable, who cannot be defeated, she will empower us to find that Dharma. What is the highest ideal? Now, obviously, I cannot spend my entire lifetime reading and rereading and looking to see that every I is dotted and every T is crossed on one page of one book. I gotta write 500 books. I've only done 40. My time is running out. I have to make a determination. What is the best that I can do under these circumstances? So we started out and we Xeroxed, we had a clickety-clack typewriter, and we started out with a fountain pen that leaked all over my fingers, and we wrote down our translations in a diary, and then I upgraded to a clickety-clack typewriter. It was a royal typewriter, and it'd stand up, and I could type on the typewriter, and I would pass out pages, and we would put carbon paper behind the typewriter, and we would make copies of it, and then we would mimeograph the copies, and we passed out all the verses that everybody could chant together, and then we got access to a Xerox machine, and we could make a regular copy, and then we got our first computer, and then we could make it all in Roman letters with capital, all caps. And then we could put the translation with and then we taught a new computer how to speak Sanskrit. We can write out the letters and the mantras in Devanagari, and we made books, and we Xeroxed the books, and we spiral bound them, and then we took the spiral bound books and we started having them perfect bound, and then we started our own self-publishing company, and then we went to digital publications, and then we made apps. And if you look at the evolution, I couldn't spend the whole day on one page crossing the T and dotting the I's. I had things to do in order to find my highest balance between productivity and the efficiency of creativity. I had to be productive and I had to be efficient. I had to do them both. So I had to make compromises. And each one of us will make compromises, and we will decide ourselves what is the highest and best usage of this tool in the hands of the Divine Mother. And you can see, just as my process evolved, just so all of your processes are evolving. Every one of us will make the same determinations with every karma that we have to perform. What is the trade-off between expediency and efficiency? And how much is the appropriate amount? I know some people who kept working on the one piece, their masterpiece, until it was too late to deliver it. and they've never finished their masterpiece. They're still working on it, and I agree, it's a wonderful dedication of life. I know other people who said, okay, well, this is as good as I can get it by myself, and when God is happy, she'll send me a team to empower me with the undefeatable one to make it even better and make it better, and put the graphics with it and put it on the website and put it on in distribution and make it pretty and make it more efficient when she wants. So each one of us will make these determinations for ourselves in our own processes. Yes, please.
We have a question from Sharanya.
Namaste, Sharanya.
Pranam. Can you elaborate more on how chanting the stotram in addition to Mahalakshmi Ashtakam removes obstacles as it relates to business? Wouldn't it be better to chant the stotram for removal of obstacles that keep us from experiencing pure devotion? Should we be asking for anything other than pure devotion?
Yes, we should be asking for other things other than pure devotion. Pure devotion is number one on your list, but you've got a list. Every one of us has a list. And we've got to find a way to harmonize our material needs with our spiritual aspirations. You can't just deny, oh, I'm spiritual, therefore the world is going to take care of me. That's not going to work, Sharanya. I will try it and see. If you find a way to make that work, let me know. I'll be the first one at your doorstep. But I found through the years of my life that I had to do things in this material world, and I wanted success in those things. And I had to continually pursue my spiritual aspiration, and I really didn't want to give that up. And I had to create a harmony and a balance and an allocation and a budget of resources and time and energy so that I could do it all. Because nobody gets a free lunch. And if you get one, let me know. Except in Mama's bandara. You come to Mama's house and she gives everybody a free lunch. But she can't do it for everybody every day. She can give a couple of times. Then Swami steps in and says, I have to balance between my material commitments and my spiritual aspirations, and I can't provide a free lunch for everyone every day. And Mom would just keep cooking as long as there's food there. We all, Sharanya, all of us have to harmonize and balance our material life with our spiritual life. And when we do that, then everything we do becomes spiritual. It's all part of the sadhana. If we discriminate and distinguish and say, oh, that's material and I don't have to do that because I'm spiritual, it's nonsense. And it's not going to happen. You still got to pay the grocer. You got to still put gas in your car. I haven't found out yet how to make it work without putting gas. The car just doesn't run. And something about those gas stations, talk to Pushpa, they take money. Every time I go in for a fill-up, they say, Swami, where's your credit card? I don't have any credit. Okay, you pay cash. But you do pay. So now, how do I pay in a spiritual way? How do I make my offering and a contribution that empowers the world so that the world wants to put gas in my car? That's really the issue. I do spiritual work. How do I do my spiritual work in such a way that Pushpa's company is going to say, oh, okay, Swami, come on in and we'll fill her up. All of us need to find our gifts and make a way that we can offer our gifts in exchange for the support of the universe. Empowering others empowers us. So yes, we do want pure devotion, but I want to demonstrate the sincerity of that pure devotion through what I do. By empowering you. My love for you makes me do what I do. My love for Ma makes me do what I do. That is my devotion. And believe me, I work hard. I do lots of things. I don't just sit around and philosophize all day. I wash dishes and I chop wood, I carry water. I sweep the floors, I'm the driver. I'm also the car. She's the driver. She says where to go. I just drive there. In many ways, I continue to act. Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, even though I'm the Lord of all, I continue to act. So, I don't think, yes, we do want pure devotion, but we also have many hurdles and obstacles that confront us in the material world. And we do need to overcome those obstacles so we can move into our spiritual world and leave the thoughts of the material world behind. When you sit for puja and the grocer is knocking on your door saying, you didn't pay the bill, you didn't pay the bill, your devotion will be disrupted. It will be disrupted, Sharanya. So don't try to say, I'm spiritual, I'm not going to deal with the material world. Say, I am spiritual and I am dealing with the material world as the depiction of my spirituality. It is the exemplification of my spirituality. It is my devotion. I love you so much that I'm willing to work for you. I don't want to just sit there and tell you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay, put the food on the table. I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay, you wash the dishes and chop the wood and carry the water and you do everything. That's not my love. My love for you says I'm going to empower you in any way that you need empowerment to share your gifts. Whether that means providing for you or taking care of you or driving you or chopping wood, carrying water. It means clearing the material obstacles. That's my empowerment of you. Namaste.
We have a question from Moshami and Siddharth in Boulder.
Namaste Moshami, Namaste Siddharth.
Pranam. Is it better to chant this stotram or to write it on Burja Patra and wear it as an amulet? Is it better to chant in the evening since the chanda is anushtup?
No, Moshami, you can wear it as a kavach, but you should chant it as much as you can. You can chant it anytime, day or night, even though it's in the chanda of the evening. She's closing the deal. It's not that you should chant it only in the evening. You should chant it all the time. Oh, every day, whenever you get the time, whenever you get empowered. Moshami, did you remember the story of Narad and the three sadhus? The first sadhu said, how long will it take for me to get enlightened? And Narad said, it's going to take you 10,000 years. He said, oh, no, not that much time. The second sadhu said, how long is it going to take me to get enlightened? And then Narad thought for a moment and said, it's going to take you 20,000 years. He said, oh no, not that long. The third sadhu said, how long will it take me to get enlightened? And Narad said, it's going to take you 100,000 years. And the sadhu said, you mean I'm going to make it? Namaste.
We have a question from Lauren in Boulder.
Namaste, Lauren.
Namaste. Because of the force of this stotram, should we add this to our other recitations only when we need an extra burst of motivation, or should we be performing it regularly? Is it too powerful to do all the time?
It is not too powerful to do all the time, but are you strong enough to hold it? Can you hold that energy? Can you guide that energy? Do you have enough time? Do your other sadhana first, your regular sankalpa, and then add things into it, like this. Add things into it as you have time, as you have necessity, as you have capacity. If you were going to say, I'm going to spend 20 minutes on this every day, and 3.5 hours on the Cosmic Puja, and 4 hours on the Chandi, and 2.5 hours on the Devi Gita, and then I'm going to do the... I think you're going to have a very long asana. It won't be possible, Lauren. So then when you practice it, that's fine. Practice it and become accomplished at it. Become good at it. Understand it. Feel it. Breathe it. Inhale it. Let that vibration move through your body. And then you can put it aside, do your regular puja, and do your regular pat, and do what you practice regularly, and every time you get time, I'm sure you don't have time every day, but every time you get time, then add Aparajita, and I'm going to be giving you more and more things to add. There are really, really fun things to add. I've got a whole bunch of them I'm working on, and they're really neat. Yes, please.
We have a question from Denise in Colorado.
Namaste, Denise.
Namaste. If we can't pronounce Sanskrit, do we just muddle through and do the best we can, sitting up, breathing, and using best intentions? Or do we recite the stotram in English?
I would suggest for this kind of stotram that you do recite the Sanskrit and muddle through as best as you can. Listen to our recordings, listen to our classes. We will record it again a little bit more slowly so that everybody can grasp individual words instead of just one breath of powerful vibrations. But I would suggest that you try to the best of your ability. Now you can use the Roman transliteration of the mantras, but this type of stotram, this type of vidya, this is called pacha vidya, the knowledge which confers purity, purification. And it purifies by inviting this energy into our lives, into our sadhana, into our bhavana, into our feeling, we breathe it, we inhale it, we feel it, and it becomes a part of our life. When we walk out at the door, we march out to confront all the enemies, all the situations which we made mess of. We just go out there with our brooms and dustpans and clean it all up. And so I would suggest we try to the best of our ability to recite it in Sanskrit, or as close as you can come. Now, please don't presume yourself to be a master. There's no necessity to become a master of Sanskrit in order to use this kind of knowledge. But don't use it to show off. Don't use it to share with other people. Use it to purify yourself. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.